Hey, good afternoon. It's afternoon. First, can we just appreciate this beauty? I love my lip combo today. I'm usually a big fan of lip gloss or lip glass, whatever you guys call it now. But today I just decided to do without it, and I think I am loving it. My shoulder pad t-shirt is from Zara. Let me show you my jean. My jean from H&M, belt is from Zara. I think my neck piece is from H&M as well, or Zara. I think it's Zara. The neck piece is from Zara. But hey, let's just get right into today's video because I have a lot to share with you guys. Let's go. Hi, welcome back if you're returning viewer, or welcome if this is the first time that you're joining me. Thank you so much for clicking, and I pray that you are kind enough to subscribe, to like, to comment, and to share to any woman that you think will resonate or that you think would want to feel seen in whatever she's going through, or to a young girl that you want to help make better decisions, especially as regards to who to settle down with. So today I'm going to be telling you about how my sister-in-law, why do I keep calling her my sister-in-law? My ex-sister-in-law faked kindness to deceive me. I relocated from Australia to Canada in 2018 September with my daughter. I came in September. She came in 2019 May or June. I was already pregnant with my second child when she came. But before she came into Canada, her brother, my ex-husband now, sat me down and advised me. He was like, this is my sister that is coming. I didn't live with her. I really don't know her that much, but if there's one thing that I know about her, she's a two-faced person. She can be your friend and also be your enemy at the same time. So he was like, remember you are older than her, because I'm 3 years older than her. Remember you are older than her and everything like that. Please be very mindful how you deal with her. I'm like, okay, that's fine. At that point, I really wanted somebody to talk with in the house, because I and my ex-husband, we were not friends at all. Like, we could go 2 days and the only thing, I was not even quarreling, and the only thing we would just say to each other is maybe good morning, come and eat, I have an appointment tomorrow. Like, we didn't used to have any conversation. The marriage became, the early stage just became very life draining. I was losing myself because I didn't have anyone to talk to, nobody. So I was sometimes always on the phone with my sisters in Australia, my friends, I call them my sisters, in Australia. But because of the time difference, it's always hard. Anyway, he told me everything that he wanted me to know about his sister, just to give me like a heads up about this person that is coming. You have to be careful and all of that. And I said, okay, that's fine. She wasn't meant to stay in our house at all. But I pleaded. I was like, oh, please, let her just stay. Let them just stay. Because there were two that came at that time. Let them just stay and everything like that. Please, please, please. And it was like, okay. The reason I pleaded was that I didn't want to be lonely. I wanted to have grown-ups in the house that I could just talk to at least. You know, like, hey, how far are you there? You kind of things, because I didn't have that with him. So he agreed and he was like, okay, I'm going to stay. And then they started staying. Immediately she came, she did not give me any reason to believe what her brother said about her. No reason at all. She came in and we just clicked, right? She loves to talk about stuff. I love to talk about stuff. We're always on social media. Listen, Mama, have you seen this one? I said, no, like that. So I was like, in my head, I was always like, why did this guy try to, lie on his sister? What was the reason? Like, she's not like that. And I was pregnant then. This girl would help me clean. She would help me cook. She would help me sweep. She would help me shower my daughter, babysit my daughter. She was very good, very kind to me. Like I shared on my Instagram, one of the major one that I can never forget was when I just had my child in September 2019. I had my baby on a Monday. I got back home on a Wednesday. And on Thursday, the brother, who was working for himself at that time, left for work, left me alone in the house with a toddler under 2. There was nothing for me to eat in the house. No provision at all was made. He just left. At about 1:30ish, 2 p.m., if not 3 p.m., but in the afternoon, she came because she was living in the basement. She came upstairs. She was working then. She already got a job and she was working from home. She came upstairs and she was like, Mama, are you the only one up here? And I said, yes. She said, oh my God, have you eaten? And I said, no. And she was like, oh my God, oh my God. You needed to see her reaction. She grabbed her phone very quickly. It was DoorDash or Uber Eats. I can't remember. Or Skip. I can't remember the app. She ordered quickly Nando's chicken and rice. I can never forget. You know, there's a way someone will do something for you until you grow old and enter under the ground. You will never forget. That's how the things that this girl did for me, that's how they are stuck in my brain. And I think that's why it's very difficult for me to now come to terms with the fact that this same person was only just lying, was only just using kindness to cover their real self or their real character. Anyway, she ordered Nando's chicken and rice for me and they delivered it. She was like, Azimade had a shower. I said no. She took my child into the bathroom, showered my baby for me, my eldest child, showered her for me. The Nando's came, I ate. I think she even took more than an hour with me upstairs that day. That was the first major one. You know, before that time, like I said, she was helping me clean when I was pregnant. If the brother gets back from work and I ask him, usually that's what I do. I'll be like, what do you want to eat? Do you know, it was when I got married that I really realized that some people don't have the capacity to receive honor and respect. If you honor them and you show them so much respect, they will think that you're not wise. They will think that you're being foolish. They will see it as a weakness. It was until I got married that I came to that realization that there are people like that. That when you honor them and you respect them, they automatically just think that you're not wise enough. You're being crazy. You're being stupid. Anyway, then when the brother comes from work, I usually just ask him, what do you want to eat? And he will reply, what do you have? What have you made? And I'll say, oh, maybe pounded yam, or I'll say egusi, ogbono, this and that. And he can just say, I want to eat noodles. And sometimes I will want to stand up, you know, pregnant. I want to get up from the chair like this and like, go and start cooking the noodles. This girl, she'll say, Mama, don't worry. I'll cook the noodles. Don't worry. Sit down. She'll go and cook the noodles, you know, to the brother. That's how helpful. That's how much kindness this girl showed to me. Another time that she showed me kindness was that I can never forget in my life was in 2020. And this happened between July and September 2020 because I had a quarrel with the brother from July to about September. So one of the nights, about 10 p.m.ish, their mom called me and their mom was like, oh, Yuri, how are you? I said, I'm fine. How are my grandchildren? I said, they are doing well, ma. And she said, Yuri, what's going on? And I said, ma, before I started explaining, before I said, ma, the mother went. Because my son really cried to me. My son really cried. Sorry, the way I express this is very... express things in a way that you will literally feel like you were there when it happened, right? Okay. And the mother went, my son really cried to me, now over the phone. My son really cried to me. I wonder what my son is going through. I was like, your son cried to you. That what? What did I do? What happened? I'll give you the full gist of what happened, but I'm trying to tell you how this girl stood up for me. I'll tell you exactly what happened in another video. This whole story. I said, your son cried that what? I really wonder what my son is going through. My son must be really suffering. That school that you, because I was going to Bow Valley College then, I was doing a course in HR as at the time we had the quarrel. That school that you are going to, is my son in support of that school? And I said, what do you mean, ma? I don't know. He was the one that got me the computer that I'm using. So I don't know if he just got me the computer so that it will not look like he didn't support me, but I think he's in support. No, you have to be sure. That's the mother telling me now. No, you have to be sure that he's in support. Now you've collected money from government to go to school. And really, I collected student loan and grants to go to school. Collected big money from government to go to school. You are trying to develop yourself so that when you leave my son, you will not fall back to the ground. That was what a mother told me. I have a recording. This time I'm not trying to prove anything to anybody. It's not proven. I am not offended. I keep reminding myself that I am not offended every time I share my story. I keep telling myself, you are not offended. You are not living in offense. You are just sharing your story to help other people and to make others feel seen as well. That was what their mother told me. That I am trying to develop myself so that when I leave her son, I will not fall to the ground. I will not start from square one. That's what I'm trying to do. I was like, ma, how? Like, where is this coming from? I was in Australia. I was doing well for myself. I was in Australia. I used to earn at least 2,900, at least bi-weekly. And I came to Canada. Your son relegated me to $250 in a month. CCB, $250 in a month. I was relegated to that point. And you are the one telling me that I'm trying to develop myself so that when I leave your son, I will not fall to the ground. I was like, I was never on the ground. Your son only brought me to Canada. He didn't bring me from Nigeria overseas. No. My parents took me to Australia. He moved me from Australia here. And if I had known that this is what was going to happen, I would have stayed in my Australia. I was better off in Australia. I was like, because this is not it. No friendship, no love, no money, no. You know, some people get married because they just want to enjoy money. They don't mind. I wasn't enjoying anything. Nothing. I was serving because they told me for marriage to work, one has to do all the loving. So I was literally doing all the loving. Anyway, let me go back to my story. So I told the mother, I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. That is not my intention. I'm just trying to develop myself. And really, I got student loan. And truthfully, my ex-sister-in-law, as at that time, did not know that I collected money from the government. That government gave me a loan to go to school. She wasn't aware. So what that meant was, it was my ex that went and told my whole story to his family. So that call ended. Between God and man, the God that searches the heart of all men, I did not end that call. That call somehow just ended and I went to bed. I think 3 days after that thing happened, or 4 days, she came because she was not at home when that thing happened. She was living with her boyfriend, now husband. So she came home and she was like, what is going on, Mama? And I said, I don't know. And she was like, first of all, I want to apologize. She was apologizing to me. First of all, I want to apologize. And I have a recording of this thing. And that time, I wasn't recording because I wanted to have it as an evidence. Because I thought she was for me. I only recorded and sent it to my mother just because I wanted my mother to hear from the horse's mouth. But now, it's an evidence. Do you understand? I recorded that time just to say, oh, mommy, hear what his sister is saying. So it doesn't look like, oh, I am giving my mom a reported speech. So she came to the house. She was like, I'm very sorry, you know. I was like, look at what your mom did to me some days ago. Look at what your mom said to me. Why would your mom say that? She was like, Mama, I'm very sorry. It's how my brother went to report the matter. I already told them. I said, I have the recording. That he's always lying. I recorded it to my mom. That he's always lying. You know, I already told them. Last time when he came to Nigeria, he brought me to them because they had one issue when he went to Nigeria. Their family, I wasn't involved. That she told them that the last time he came to Nigeria, he brought me to you people. Now he has brought his wife. Aren't you people wise enough to know that this guy is always lying? She was telling me that that was what she told her mom and her siblings in Nigeria. I wasn't there. So anyway, I was like, your mother really hurts me. I was like, look at what your mother said. I'm trying to develop myself so that when I leave her son, I will not fall to the ground. And that I got money from the government. And she was like, Mama, did you tell me that you got any money from the government? And I said, no. And that's the truth. I never told this girl that I got money from the government. What that meant was, like I said, it was her brother that went to tell his family in Nigeria. So she was like, did you tell me? I said, no. She was like, I'm just hearing for the first time. I'm not aware that you got student loan from the government. She was not begging me, please, Mama, don't be offended. Don't be offended. It's the way he cried to my mom. You know, that's why my mom reacted that way. You know, put yourself in my mother's shoe. You are also a mother now. If your child cries to you like that, the way he has gone to lie to my mom. If your own child cries to you like that and lies to you about something, you will also react without even thinking that your child is lying. I said, okay. And I said, that's fine. She now told me that, oh, that she has told her mom to call me to apologize, that she really told her mom that what her mom did was very wrong, that her mom was supposed to hear from. I said, that's fine, that's okay. It's fine, it's okay. Like you really said, if my child lies to me and I don't know the truth, I am most likely going to react exactly the same way she reacted. I'll be thinking that my child is really in trouble, you know, I need to save my child. The woman did apologize, and I also apologized as well, but I then was now able to tell her the truth about what happened. Okay, after me and this girl had this conversation, she came back home, and I think it was on a weekday. I was in class downstairs. The brother came from upstairs. We were not talking at this time. The brother came from upstairs, went past me. I was in class. We were doing, this is 2020, remember, COVID. I was in class online. There was no physical, nobody was going to a class in person. So it was online. I was in class. He passed behind me and went into the basement. It is God. God just told me to go outside through the back door and listen in on what they were going to say. Somebody just told me he was going to have a conversation with his sister. So I went through the back door and I was listening. And he was telling her, listen to me, he was telling her, you are still being friends with somebody that insulted my mother. And that was where she snapped. I heard these things with my 2 ears. It was not as if she told me. That was where she started to say, no, she did not insult mommy. Bros, Iyore did not insult our mother. I already asked mommy. Mommy said that she just talked to her in a tone that she has never had her talk to her before. That's all mommy said. Mommy did not say Iyore insulted her. No, mommy, you can't, no, bros, you cannot tell me to stop talking to somebody that has not done anything wrong to me. She was telling the brother. You can't tell me to stop being friends to somebody that hasn't done anything wrong to me. What did she do to me? She didn't even do anything to you. What did she do to me? Why will I stop talking to her? See, this thing I'm telling you, I heard it with my 2 ears. It was not as if it was a reported speech. No, I heard it with my 2 ears. And then later she said, I beg, bros, I beg, please, I want to go back to work. Please, I beg. And then immediately I knew that he was going to leave the room. So I ran back and sat right where he saw me when he was going into the basement. So he came back upstairs, grabbed something, and he left. And I continued in my class. Later in the afternoon, she came upstairs. I think it was her break time. Usually, when it's her break time, she'll come upstairs and be like, ah, mama, how now day for this side though? Work just busy. That's why I never come upstairs since, you know, I will just gist. And she came upstairs later in the afternoon. And when she came upstairs, mama, how you doing now? I said, I'm good though. I said, I heard you and your brother's conversation this morning. And she was like, eh? You heard us? I said, she said, did you hear what I said? I said, yes. And then I said, thank you. She said, no. Why would you thank me, mama? I'm in this house. I see everything that you go through. I will not wish it on anybody. That she even tells her mom that, mommy, will you pray for me to marry somebody like your son? And the mother will say, God forbid, oh. Then she will not ask the mother, then why are you acting as if Iyore is enjoying? That girl is suffering. When she needs our support, she was telling me, she was like, mama, no, there is no way that I will side evil or that I will see the truth and lie about it. No, I am in this house. I witness everything that you go through. Always know that I will always be here for you. I will always speak the truth. See, my brothers and my sisters, with all of these things that I have said, how would you ever believe that this person was only masking who they truly are with all of these acts of kindness? That somebody would be able to pretend by showing kindness in this magnitude, in this great form. How would you believe that someone that showed you such great kindness was only pretending? How would it not hurt when you realize that of a truth they were only pretending? Like I said, God has helped me and is still helping me to deal with the hurt. It was not until the divorce that I knew that she was pretending. No. It was after she left the house. She had a quarrel with her brother, so she moved out of the house. That was when the brother now sat me down. That was when the brother now sat me down and started to tell me everything that she used to come and tell him. Not divorced yet, we never even start quarrel. When the brother sat me down, I said to say, this time, You know that I so much believe that this girl was my friend, was a confidant, was on my side. When she was about to leave, after she and her brother fell out, I knelt down. I was begging this girl not to leave. I am 3 years older than her. I knelt down for this girl. I was thinking that she was a confidant, a friend. Someone that will see the truth and stand by the truth. I didn't know that she was a wolf, a wicked wolf in sheep clothing. One time, my mom, you see, as parents, what they see, our parents, what they see, sitting like they said, we will climb the highest Iroko, we will not be able to see that thing. One day, my mother said, Yuri, how possible is it that this girl will just love you like this more than her brother? And I said, but mommy, she's seen everything that is happening in this house now. My mother said, be very careful, because it's very uncommon, very unusual. Sister-in-law will love you more than her brother. My mother said, maybe it's a one of a kind blessing that God has just given to you. But be careful. When everything happened, I'm sure my mother in the grave would be like, in fact, I'm sure the day my mother died, my mother already knew. Be like, you're my child. This girl, no. It was so hard for me to believe that she was not as kind, or that she was not even kind at all. When the brother sat me down and started to tell me things, girl, I was like, one of the things that he told me was, I'll say the rest in another video, but one of the things that he told me was, when she helps me to hold my children so that I'll create content, she will come to him later or call him on the phone, whatever, and say, this content that your wife is just busy creating up and down, is there money inside? Is she making money? Why is she just wasting her time? Let her focus on something else. That he will not tell her. But you both call each other sisters now. You go and tell her. Why are you telling me? You tell her. I was like, what? He said yes. That at a point, he had to reach out to a friend in Japan and told his friend that I don't understand the role that my sister is playing in my marriage. I don't understand how she's moving in my marriage. That if I think that he's lying, I should call that boy, because I know the boy. I should call the boy and ask the boy this thing that he's telling me. That it got so bad, he had to reach out to a friend to say, please, I don't know my wife, because my wife sees her as a good person. My wife sees her as her sister. There is no way my wife will believe me. So those events, coupled with others, that are not so big, but that I am very grateful for, were what actually made me believe that she was the best sister-in-law ever in the whole wide world. But it was a lie. She was a snake. She was a wolf in sheep clothing. Anyway, I just wanted to share. It's my prayer that may God give us the spirit of discernment. May we be able to discern very quickly. And may God give us the eyes that sees and the ears that hear, so that we will not walk in darkness, so that people will not be able to fake kindness to destroy us. In Jesus' name, amen. See y'all in my next video. Bye.